Hello everyone, Lily the Deck Harlot here. Welcome to my channel. For those returning viewers, welcome back. I'm happy for you to be here. And today I will be continuing my series on my tarot deck collection, this time the indie versions. And the ones that are on the table right now are two editions of the Wild Unknown. This is the deck that started me on my journey of buying indie decks. The Wild Unknown was my first indie deck, the first edition. And when the other one came out, I went ahead and got it. And I'm just going to show you the backs of both. So this was the first edition and this one was the second edition. And my preference actually is the first edition. I like some of the changes that she did for the cards itself, but I don't like the back so much as this one. And so I'm not going to bother showing you the cards of both decks since most of them are pretty much the same. And I like the art in this deck. Although I thought her guidebook was terrible to go with this deck, and I have a problem with this deck in the sense that I wish she had written a better guidebook in explaining her choices, because some of these images, they don't really make sense to me in why she picked them, because all she did for the guidebook is basically parroted the traditional meanings of the Rider-Waite-Smith without explaining why she picked the particular symbol. And I don't know if I'll get into it, but where's the card? Like this card here, the Three of Cups. Which part of this card means getting together, partying, having a celebration? And for those people that get that meaning from this particular image, hats off to you. But to me, it doesn't make any sense. And I remember on one of the Facebook groups where someone was asking about the Wild Unknown deck and what, they thought it was a good tarot deck. And Mary Greer herself came on and said, "It's a nice oracle. Tarot? No." There's the Wild Unknown. The next one I'm going to show you is the Marshmallow Mexi. And this is a really cute deck if you're studying Marseille. For some reason, I don't use it a lot. I don't consider it very traditional. It's got some of the, like it's does a lot of the same imagery. But sometimes, like some of the figures are not exactly on point, I find, because in traditional Marseille deck, a lot of the figures are looking somewhere and like either to the left or the right, and like like this one here, they're looking straight at you, which I find is a little bit of a problem, because when I read Marseille, I like the direction, the character to be looking somewhere other than directly at me. So, but this is the Marseille, the Marshmallow Mexi. Next one I'm going to show you is the second deck, indie deck I got, that I ever bought for myself. And it didn't come in the box at the time. It came in this little organza bag. And that's the Dame Darcy deck. It's a Rider-Waite clone, but it's a watery theme because it's all mermaids and sea creatures. There's the Emperor, which I like. For some reason, it reminds me of the Emperor in the Sassy Burrito. And I'm not sure which edition I have of this deck, but afterwards, when Dame Darcy, when she's been selling her deck, she's actually providing a box with it now. So there's a Dame Darcy Tarot. And the next one I'm going to show you is the Fountain Tarot. And look at the gilding on this one. And as much as Dame Darcy is a watery deck, a lot of people consider this deck airy, and I'd have to agree actually. The images are quite crisp, and there's a lot of, like, to me, like images like this reminds me of ice. And believe me, in Canada in the winter, some winters we see a lot of ice. And we don't see the people using this deck anymore so much. So here is the Prism Tarot. And here are the backs. And look, this one has nice gilding as well. And this is an interesting deck and a fun deck to work with. And if you decide to study it and put the cards side by side, the images actually run into each other. And it's quite impressionistic in the art style. Or, I don't know if I'll say this right, pointillistic, where it's all dots. So there is the Prism Tarot. Next one I'm going to show you is this one here, which is the Heart and Hands Tarot. And this one I got off Etsy. And the cards are actually pretty large in this one. Here's, you know, if we compare the Prism Tarot. And this one is all in black and white and pippish. Although you do get a sense of what the, like what the Rider-Waite meaning is from. It's not pippish like the Marseille Tarot where everything is the same, except, you know, adding a coin or two or Seven of Cups, the card I consider for shopping. So there's the Heart and Hands Tarot. Next one I'm going to show you is this one here, the Tarot of the Trees, which is a really cute deck. So here are the backs, and I'll just show you for comparison. This one actually is smaller than regular size tarot. And someone was asking me about this deck recently. And this is all like, there's no people in this deck. It's all trees and symbols. But the creator did a really good job of translating the Rider-Waite-Smith meaning to the card using just trees. And someone was asking me about this deck because I didn't realize it was out of print. But for some reason I ended up on their website, and for anyone who's looking to buy this deck, the creator will be putting it on one of the crowdfunding sites sometime this year to to crowdfund the next printing. So there's a tarot of the trees. Next up is the Ellis Tarot deck, and the edition I have is the 4th edition. And this is another deck that I really like the art, just because it's colorful. It's, I'd say, out of the ordinary. It's, you know, like here's someone with green skin, and I like the way he put the fox in. And it's a little bit cartoonish is not the right word. Poster style, maybe. That's a nice 8 of Swords. And one of my favorite Justice cards. So there's the Ellis Tarot. And this deck is the Soma tarot cards. And these are the ones with the bottle backs. I was lucky enough to score this deck a little while back, and well, to be honest, I just bought it intending to read up on the different bottles and what they might mean with the cards, and well, I still haven't gotten around to it. But these are the fronts, and the art is okay. I'm not that crazy about it. But I need to sit down and study it so I can make myself so I get a better impression of if it's a deck I would like to work with. And see if the bottles actually match the meaning of the cards. So there's the Soma Tarot. Next is the Ophidia Rosa Tarot. And to me, this deck falls in the same category as the Wild Unknown. It's a beautiful deck. The art, that art appeals to me, but looking at the image, I'm having a hard time making it fit the meanings of the cards. And I have the Oracle deck, and they did a better job of putting a meaning with the image, but in this case it's a little rhyme. I'm not sure what the term is that they put in, but you get a leaflet with a phrase or two that could be poetry for every card. So, but I do like the, you know, I like the imagery and the fact that it's flowers and herbs. The next one is a Rider-Waite clone that I really like, and it's the Golden Thread Tarot. And these are actually, I think they're plastic cards, and they shuffle like a dream and riffle shuffle. That's why I like it so much. And it's just line work. And to my mind, it takes a lot of talent to just take, I mean, you know, if it was, this could be like black and white, but in this case it's gold. But I find it takes talent to come up with a design with just lines that conveys the meaning of a card. So there's the Golden Thread Tarot. Next is the Circo Tarot, and I believe these decks are out of print, and the creator has decided she's no longer printing them, from what I understand. And this is also art that's a little bit unusual. Colors, you know, colors you don't expect to see. For example, you don't expect to see blue people. The art is a little bit, I'm going to say this wrong, but it's going to sound wrong, but childish. Or folksy, maybe. There's the Circo Tarot. This is the Janessa Jaus Tarot. And it's another one of those decks where the art is a little bit unusual. And the color palette is not extensive. It's like greens and purples and yellows and white. And the language is Catalan, I think. But it's fairly easy to understand. There's a lot of women in this deck, and the men are all, that's one of the criticism of the deck from other people, is the kings are dead. Next on the list is this one here, which is the Lakota Day Tarocchi. This one is a popular deck as well. This was actually one of the first Pip style decks that I got, or Marseille style deck, I guess, although it's not really Marseille. But I'm a fan of, it reminds me of medieval art, which it's a period of history that I've always been fascinated with. So when I found out about this deck and saw the art, it was, well, I had to have it. So there's the Lakota Day Tarocchi. And the next deck I'm going to show you, I actually have two versions of it. So, and it's the Spirit Keepers Tarot by Benabel Wen. And I'm just going to show you one of the versions. And Benabel did quite a great job at designing this deck. I remember watching her, I think it was Instagram, when she was basically documenting how she was designing this deck, and that she designed the deck and wrote a book in a month is nothing short of superhuman. Now, mind you, she's really talented in her art. I think I saw in an interview somewhere where she was saying that she always wanted to be an artist, and she won several design competitions when she was younger, like in high school. But she eventually ended up going to law school instead. But she says that if it hadn't been for law, she would have become an artist. And well, she is an artist. So there's the Spirit Keepers Tarot. So this concludes the first part of my indie deck tarot collection. I will be doing a second part at another time. I hope you enjoyed it. I welcome any comments or feedback, so please leave a comment. And I'll end this here by saying have a good day, and until next time.